Welcome to another edition of the Recruiting Scoop. I'm Jared Johnson, and today I want to talk about three high targets for Texas Tech who have commitment announcements coming up on Monday. These are guys that Texas Tech have recruited for a long time. They all came on official visits, and Texas Tech has heavily been in the mix for all three. And interestingly enough, in terms of my confidence level on if they're actually going to pick Texas Tech on Monday, varied between all three of them. It's a different feeling about all three of them. So let's start off with what I believe will be some good news. Now, I'm not spoiling any announcements for anybody. I don't know this for facts. This is just what I believe. It's just my opinion based on a lot of legwork, a lot of conversations. So we'll see what happens on Monday about all three of these guys. But the first guy I feel the most strongly about that he will end up a Red Raider, and that's linebacker Caleb Burns out of Cy Falls High School. A three-star recruit, but highly recruited. Basically, you had to fight off everybody else in Texas for him outside of Texas. Houston, Baylor, I think TCU as well, SMU. I think I already said Houston. All those schools were in the mix and are in the mix for Caleb Burns. But I do believe, in terms of out of the three, I feel the most confidence that he will end up a Red Raider. We'll have to see, where he actually decides. Again, this isn't. I'm not saying it's a slam dunk done deal. We'll see what happens. But in talking with Caleb after he visited early in June, the plan is, in terms of Texas Tech's plan for him, is for him to play at will or star. And the star position at Texas Tech is that hybrid position that almost every defense in college football utilizes now. And these hybrid positions help counteract these spread offenses, and whether it be against the pass or against the run, you got to have these versatile dudes. The star position at Texas Tech is a safety outside linebacker hybrid, but they're asked to do a lot, really. I mean, you still have to set the edge, not as strongly as some of the other guys, but you do have to participate in that. You do have to help in pass rush them. I think Muddy Waters was a great example of that. He was a huge factor for Texas Tech's defense as a pass rusher. But you also have to cover. So you have to cover the slot, which is not an easy job a lot of times. Those are some of the quickest dudes, most elusive guys on the field. So the star position is a vital position for Texas Tech in its defense, and that might end up being Caleb Burns' landing spot if he chooses Texas Tech. The next guy I want to mention is four-star outside linebacker edge Smith Orogbo. He's from Leaf Hastings, and there's a lot of schools in the mix for him. I mean, he has almost 40 offers, but he did take an official visit to Texas Tech. And I didn't even mention this about Caleb Burns, but there is 2 crystal ball predictions in Texas Tech's favor, and none for any other school. So that's a good sign. Smith Orogbo has 1 crystal ball prediction in Tech's favor, and none other for anybody else. But he took late official visits to Oklahoma and UT after he visited Texas Tech. I know that they, especially Texas, but both schools, really tried to, roll out the red carpet and really, because there was some talk that it looks like Orogbo was going to end up at Texas Tech. But I think this is a real recruiting battle. And I really don't know who he's going to pick on Monday. It could be Texas Tech. It could be Texas. I think, and the more I talk to numerous people about his recruitment, the more everybody's kind of like shrugs and goes, I could see it going several ways. So maybe there's somebody out there who knows for sure, but I honestly do not know where Smith Orogbo is going to choose on Monday. But obviously a 6'4", 220-pound athletic edge with 40 offers, 4-star recruit. This is what you expect to go down to the wire. I think even if he commits somewhere, you're going to have to keep recruiting him all the way till he signs on the dotted line and then gets on campus. So that's just the nature of the beast with the guy as talented who has as many options as Smith Orogbo. Now, the third guy, Jackson Blackwell, is a 3-star defensive lineman. I really love this recruit. And he's, in terms of interviewing him, I've enjoyed, exchanging messages with him and hearing what he's about, following him on Twitter, all that stuff. I think is a dynamic athlete and a big body. Now, So I said all my feelings on all three of these prospects are different. I'm the least confident that Jackson Black, in terms of out of these three, that Jackson Blackwell will end up as a Red Raider. Now, I think Tech was in the mix. I think they gave everybody a run for their money. I don't know. Maybe Houston, maybe Baylor. We'll have to see. Just like I said with the other two guys. But I do think he stays in state, even though he has offers. And I think he visited Arizona and Kansas State as well. And those are very good programs who seem to be, if not steady in terms of Kansas State, doing what they seemingly have done for decades, for the most part. The Arizona, even though they had a lot of coaching change, they were good last year, and they seem to be on an upswing, and they're dipping into Texas. But I do think Blackwell does stay in Texas. I'm not very confident he ends up a Red Raider, though. I really would have liked to see him in Scarlet and Black, because I do like him as a prospect. So that's the three. I feel pretty good about Caleb Burns and Texas Tech. Smith Orogbo is kind of a shrug, and Jackson Blackwell I'm not as confident about in terms of him ending up a Red Raider. But hey, Monday's the day. Unless they push it back or something, we'll see where all three, when they announce who they commit to. But for now, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.